Yeah, friends. Okay. We have to start control net. So I'll be recording this session. For you. Um, the reason is that it takes lots of time to download some email, download some files, and to configure it. So I'll show you how to configure it, but it will take more time, so that's why I decided to record this session so that we can save our time, right? So in the previous lecture we have seen like how to use types of control nets, right? So today we'll be focusing on segments, right? Okay. So before starting using control net, so we have used canny. So canny is very basic type of control net actually, right? So it doesn't require any high computation power. But if we go for segmentation or MLSD, MSLD, it requires very high computation power. So in that case, what we have to do is we have to configure our stable diffusion, right? So how to configure? Let me tell you. It will help you to in other in generating other images also. So for example, if you are using Windows and you are not using any services, you have installed stable diffusion on your computer. So what you have to do is you have to just go to the go to the place where stable diffusion is installed. Okay. So here in this case, in my case, I've installed it into my C drives, users, my folder, and this is the folder where stable diffusion is installed. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to concentrate on this file, that is web UI-user. So you just right click on it, go to edit, and and what you have to do is you have to add some command line arguments over here. Okay. So this is very important, that is dash dash low VRAM. So many times it happened like while you are generating some images, you'll get an error that CUDA is full or memory is full, or sometime it stucks, right? So if you use these parameters, that is dash dash low VRAM, so the stable diffusion will try to distribute your work calculation work in to graphics card as well as your processor, and the RAM requirements will be very less. Okay. Now second thing what you have to add is dash dash Xformers. So it will enable transformers types of processing. So again it will be useful to generate high quality images, and very fast. It will help you to generate images very fast. Okay. And if you have installed it on your computer, make sure that you use this dash dash API also. You can add this also. So dash dash API, with the help of that, what you can do is use stable diffusion with other applications like Photoshop, Blender, or GIMP also. Okay. Now, after doing this, simply save the file and close the notepad file. Now if you are using runpod.io, that file is present in, if I go to this Jupyter lab, give it some time to open. Okay. uh, let's go back. Okay. So in workspace folder there is a folder called stable diffusion web UI, and here you will get that file, that is web UI-user.bat. So simply you can double click it, the file will get open here, and here you can use that parameters. Okay. So in my case I am using very high configuration card actually. Let me see what I am using. Yeah, RTX A400. So I don't think it requires on this server, but in case if you are using on your local computer, For example, if you are having RTX 3070 or maybe less than that, in that case you have to use that option. Okay, so dash dash low VRAM, so it will force stable diffusion to use less RAM. Okay, so in that so it will help you to generate very high quality images. Okay, so this is the first configuration what you have to do. Okay, now if you have installed stable diffusion on your local computer, the second thing what you have to do is you have to go to this extension tabs, right? And you can go from you can click on this available option, click on this load form and search for control net. Okay, so here you will find actually I've installed it, so that's why it is not available over here, but I'll just show you the name. It should be SD, that is stable diffusion web UI control net. So simply you have to search for this SD web UI control net into this available folder, right? And you just click on this install button. After that you just restart your stable diffusion, then control net will be available over here, right? So let me refresh this page. Yeah, so I'll just go to this prompt page and I'll just copy this prompt, right? So this is my prompt, and let's give it some image. So I'll just go to control net and I'll just go to some interior image, some basic interior image. I'll just copy the size of this image. So the size of this image is 720 by 400 pixels. Make sure that the size are same. Let's enable it. And this is an interior of living room. So I'll just give it some basic prompt, that is interior of modern living room with sunlight coming from windows. Okay, so it is C, right? Sorry, C, that is coming from window, right? So I'm not going to use any negative prompt, right? Okay, so control net I have given this image, and now what we have to do is in control type we have to select segmentation. After selecting this segmentation, so stable diffusion has automatically selected the preprocessor, and this is the model. Now model you can download it from Hugging Face. So I'll be I think I have shared the link, and after downloading this model you have to save it to extensions folder into this SD web UI control net and in the models folder. So here you have to download that file, you have to copy that file. Okay, so right now, so as I am using it online, so I have downloaded it to the extension folders. Okay, so I'm showing you both ways. Okay, both ways, on Windows also and on server also. So this is a folder, that is extensions SD web UI control net. Into this model folder you will find that segmentation file. Okay, so the extension is .pth. Okay, so don't download that 1.5 GB or 2 GB file. Okay, so you have to download this 5.1 GB file. Okay, it's around, the size is around 5.3 gigabytes. Okay, so don't get confused. Okay, so if you search on Hugging Face for control net, see the image size. Okay, the size, so this is 1.45 GB. Download the file which whose size is 5.3, more than 5 GB. Okay, So that is very accurately trained model. So now let's see, let's click on generate. See, if you are using it using stable diffusion on your computer, so in that case you have to add that arguments into your command panel, otherwise it's not necessary. So the model size is 5 GB. Okay, so the image is not so important. Let's go to the image that is generated by segmentation. Okay, so here you can find how stable diffusion with control net segmentation has distributed the objects. Okay, so let's go to this image. So this image is like this, and yeah, I think okay, so it had added this frame over here, and it has removed this lines, like these boxes from here. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's say control net is more important, and let's try to generate this image again. Okay, so now it had taken the same image, somewhat same image, but still that this part is not present. Okay, so let's click on this. Let's see. Okay, these are the differences. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to download this image. Let's save this image. Okay, so this is your segmentation. Okay, and let's open GIMP. You can use Photoshop also, but Photoshop is quite heavy software. It takes very large amount of memory. Okay, so I always use open source software. Okay, so let's open it. I saved it to, I forgot actually where I saved that image. Okay, it is saved in desktop. Okay, segmentation, right? So let's open go to desktop, and let's select this image, segmented images, and let's open that interior image also. Okay, so this is the image. Okay, and let's save it as so we are having this both images. Okay, now just so simple copy paste I am doing. So I am having this two layers now. So now what we have to do is we have to tell control net that there are some objects over here. Okay, so as you have seen, this segmentation model has skipped these boxes. Okay, these openings. Okay, so we can do one thing, like I'll just select this. Okay, and let's fill it some color like this. Okay, so select none. So now what we are doing is, like, we are adding the missed images, like missed part, manually. Okay, so I'm not doing it accurately. You can do that. Okay, uh, so let's create a new layer. Okay, so this software is just like a Photoshop. Okay, only the thing is that it is very lightweight software, and you can get some uh, scripts also. These are the plugins which are also open source, and you can directly integrate your stable diffusion to this software, so you don't need uh, to use Photoshop. Okay, so let's close it, and let's create new layer. Okay, now the name of this layer is not so important. So now we are manually adding some objects into this generated image. Okay, so this is the generated image by stable diffusion control segmentation. Okay, so segmentation has skipped that windows, so I have just given some input to it, like I'm just drawing something. Okay, colors are not important. Make sure that you don't repeat this color, like for example, you can't give this green color to this, because segmentation that model knows that this is your television. Okay, so try to use different colors, don't use these colors. Okay, now let's go to select, and let's do it none, and okay. So in this way, you can add. Let me add this also. So I am just doing it very roughly. Okay, so you can do it in Photoshop also. So I have told stable diffusion that there is something over here, so you are missing it. Okay, now I am going to save this file. I'll just save this file as sorry, we have to export it. This is not Photoshop. We have to export it as on the desktop. Let's say I'll give it changed segment image. Okay, .png. Let's export it. Okay, compression level 9, it's okay. Interlacing, yeah, you can't use it. You don't have to use it. Okay, let's export it. Alright, now again into stable diffusion. Now what we are going to do is, in preprocessor we are going to select none. Okay, in preprocessor we are going to select none, and here in single image we can give that changed segment image. Okay, and is the interior of living room, sunlight coming from the windows, blah blah blah. Okay, again we are not using negative prompt over here. Let's see, let's generate. Okay, just we have to use it in image to image, actually, sorry for that. Image to image, so in image to image we have to give that interior image, and into the control net we can use that changed image, change segment image, this one. Enable segmentation Now here we have already generated this image, so that's why pre-processor we are using none, and in control model we are going to use segmentation, and control net is more important. Now you can do one thing, like in SketchUp you can give this plain colors to your as an material to your objects, and then you can export that rendered image into your stable diffusion, and then you can use it. Oh, I forgot to copy the sizes. Maybe there is some problem. Let's see the logs, what is happening. Okay, sometimes by this, okay, it's, so see, it had added this and it has changed the image. uh, yeah, so I've generated 10 images, and it seems like this image is very close to this image. Okay, now what we can do is we can just save it, and I'll just go to desktop, and I'll just save it as segmentation, like for example output. Okay, right, so this is the image that is generated. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to manually add these objects, so that stable diffusion will understand, like the segmentation will understand that there are some objects present over there, right? So we can use control net, two control nets at a single time, at same time. So what you can do is you can just go to this Jupyter lab, and into this extensions folder you just duplicate this. I'll just copy it, and again I'll just paste it. Copy folder, okay, so I think okay, you can duplicate it, like there are some limitations of this Linux, so before downloading this model you have to copy both models, and both control nets you can use. Okay, right, so now this image is generated. Okay, so always what you have to do is you have to add some object, some drawings, if control net is unable to understand any images, any segments, then you have to manually draw these. Okay, so the seed size is 4240. Let us copy this seed size, and you can regenerate this image. Okay, so I will again save this image. Let's save it to pictures. Okay, and yeah, just close this, we'll discard it, and so I always use this software, that is Upscale. So this is very useful software. Okay, so what it does is it scales your image by using AI technology. It is also an open source software. So let's select a single image, so I'll just click on the image, and okay, so this is the image, right? So there are many options available over here, but general photo works good, right? And so the current image is 728 by 400 pixel, and we are upscaling it to 2012 by 1600. That means 4 times we are upscaling this image. Okay, let's click on this upscale button. Okay, now if possible you can see that the quality of this image is increased. Okay, so you can use these upscale options, upscale button to scale that image. Now you might be wondering why this light is appearing like this. This is because if you see this image, that generated image, we have added this box actually. So there should be a thin line over here, so that uh, control net will understand that this is a lamp. Okay, so what you can do is you can again open Photoshop or any softwares, and you can just add a simple, a basic, a very thin line over here. Then the AI will understand that there is you know light is over there. So this software like upscale is also important for you, like if you have rendered any images in SketchUp. Okay, so you render it in very low resolution. Okay, as we know that rendering these high resolution images, it takes very long time, large time in V-Ray or V-Ray. Okay, in that case you can render a very small size image, and you can give it to upscale, and upscale will scale it by using artificial intelligence. Okay, but in case if you are having any video, okay, so if you have rendered any video in V-Ray or something, any other software, and you want to you want to upscale that video, in that case you can use this software, that is video 2x. Okay, it is video 2x. Okay, and you can get it on GitHub also. So I'll just open it, video 2x GitHub. And okay, so very simple, you can just download the Windows releases. This is the setup, and simply you have to give the input video, right, a video as an input, and it will upscale the quality of that image. In case if you are having any old videos having noise, for example, if you have used Mental Ray or Arnold or Corona render, so if you render some walkthroughs in it, some noise is added into your video, so in that case you can use this software. So this is also an open source software, and okay, it takes time, but the quality of video is very HD, very high quality, right? So here what we have done is, let's recap. Okay, so here we have, what we have done is we have used segmentation previously. Okay, then by using this segmentation option in control net, it will generate this kind of image. Okay, this kind of image, and this image we have opened this image into uh, Photoshop or any other software, and you can refine this image. Okay, you can you can refine this image, and again you can give this segmented image as an input, but make sure that you keep preprocessor as none, and processor as segmentation, and then you can use image to image to generate these images. After the image is generated, you can uh, give that image to upscale, and upscale will scale that image. Okay, now, right, so this is the thing. And now the question you might be having that sir, अगर मुझे इसका texture change करना है, for example, you want to change texture, for example, or change the color of the chairs. Okay, so that you can do in painting. Now here the thing is that if you send this image to InPaint, just close this. Okay, okay, so you just get you just get this brush. Okay, and with the help of this brush you can't draw a very accurate you know, you can't draw this accurate objects. Like for example, if you want to draw this square actually, so you can't draw this with the help of brush. So in that case you can use softwares like Photoshop or GIMP, and you can just draw into that software, and that software will generate it. That I'll be showing you in the next lecture, like how to use that softwares. Okay, so for example, there is a software I am using, GIMP. So what I have done is I have integrated stable diffusion into GIMP only. So I don't need any automatic 1111 interface. I can GIMP directly use that automatic 1111 into this GIMP software. Okay, so this is purely Photoshop. If you can see all the tools, those tools are same as Photoshop. Okay, the concepts are also same, layers are there, filters are there. The only thing is that you can, if you click on this any of this option, like for example if I create a image of 512 by 512 pixels, so here you can find active layer as control net, image to image, in paintings, text to image, again upscale, all the options that we have used in automatic 1111 or stable diffusion. These all options are present into this software. Okay, so this also I'll be showing you in upcoming lectures. Right now, see, the beauty of open source software is that you can integrate anything. Like for example, if I have talked about Blender. Okay, so in Blender also, let it open. Okay, upscaler is running. Let me close it. Okay, so this is also a 3D software, and let me open one scene. So this is the scene actually, and okay, so yeah, simple scene, and there is also a option in this in Blender to directly integrate stable diffusion into it. Okay. So if you go to render, here you can see AI render, and in AI render you can type a prompt, positive prompt, negative prompt. Again, in advanced option there are steps, you know, samplers, control net is there. You can use the control net models from here. Right, you can upscale. Upscale, you can, for upscaling you can use upscale software that I have showed you. Okay, so these upscale are not as effective as that. Okay, so this is the beauty of open source software, right? So this is the basic view, and this is the rendered image that AI has generated. There are we are having we have it had generated around, sorry, no, not this also. Okay, okay, so it had generated many images, and after that we can save this image. Oops, sorry, I have to save it as a copy. Let's go to desktop and give it some name, Blender OP. And again now this image is 512 by 768 pixel. Let's upscale it. Blender OP. Okay, so this is very basic, 768 by 512 pixels. Let's upscale it. Now here you can see the upscaled quality of this image. Okay, right. So I'll be taking like 2 to 3 sessions on how to use Blender, because this is a very good software. Okay, and I'll show you how to integrate your stable diffusion with this. The only thing is that you have to add that argument dash dash API, and you have to copy that link to this preferences and settings. In these settings, if you search for AI render, okay, you have to select automatic 1111 and IP address of your server. Okay, you can copy it over here, and AI will get all the settings from stable diffusion will get loaded to this Blender, and you can directly use stable diffusion to into this Blender. So if you want to render same image with different angles, you can generate it from Blender itself. No need to, you know, for take the screenshot and import to stable diffusion and generate the image. Okay, so in next lecture we will be using MSLD, how to use it. The technique will be the same. First we'll download the model, and with text to image we will generate with text to image we will generate the processed image. That processed image we will take it as an input in Photoshop, and we'll add some missing elements, and again that processed image will import it to stable diffusion and generate images. Okay, so in case if you are getting some problem in generating these images, make sure you use this option, that is low VRAM. In case if you are having RAM less than 20 GB, for example if you are having 16 GB of RAM, okay, in that case you have to use this low VRAM option, so that stable diffusion will utilize very less RAM. Okay, and later on we will see how to use this both of them together. In my case I use stable diffusion directly with the softwares. If I want to if you want to design some if you want to create some 3D design, I use it with Blender. If I want to, you know, create some 2D sketches or basic designs, in that case I use it with GIMP. So there is one plugin, actually it is there is one plugin that we can integrate with Photoshop also. So I'll be sharing that plugin tomorrow with you in the group. So that plugin, with the help of that plugin, you can integrate stable diffusion directly into your Photoshop. Okay, so that you can you know, directly use Photoshop tools to manually edit the images. Okay, now the second thing is that, like for example what if I want to change this color or change this texture. So for that what you have to do is you have to collect all the textures, right, and you have to train the model. Okay, so you might be knowing that we have generated the captions. Each image is having different caption, specific caption. For example, interior of luxury hotel, a bedroom of luxury hotel, that is the caption. So what you can do is in case if you want to you know, customize, or if you want to generate your own textures over here, so what you can do is you can train your textual inversion with the help of that textures. Okay, so for example you can give it you have to give, in that case you have to give captions manually. Okay, so for example wooden texture, you give it some serial number 01, wooden texture 02, third image wooden texture 03, so that you can use that keywords and you can use that texture into this image. Okay, but make the difference is that we are not rendering the image. Okay, so there is difference. We are not rendering this image, we are generating this image. So that's why the control on the materials is not as accurate as 3D softwares. Okay, so there is difference between generating and rendering, right? Yeah, so in next lecture we will see how to use MLSD. The technique will be the same, right? The technique will be the same. Okay, and remember this software, okay, upscale, this is very useful software. Okay, the image enhancer, if you are using Max or Lumion, you can render that image into very low resolution image, and that images you can give it as an input to it, and upscale will scale it. Okay, so we'll meet in next session.